Have you ever had days where you just don't feel like doing anything at all? Sometimes I'm just on my phone, just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, figuring out what to do and trying to figure out what is the next project. There are days where I feel like I've done nothing at all, and yet somehow an entire day disappears and pretty much in just small, movements. And even when I am sitting down for too long, and that's usually why I can't sit down and watch or even binge watch TV, because I feel like voice starts telling me, get up, Adrian, you need to do something, you need to do some sort of kind of productivity. And usually when I do that, it's always me getting back on my phone, just looking at videos. It's a strange kind of productivity because it's like it doesn't look good on the outside when you're just looking at your phone, but some days I just need to write, and I don't write on a laptop, but I do sometimes write on my book, or just try to do some sort of something. I felt like I accomplished some sort of small it's not a masterpiece, but it's something that I did productive. And even if I'm getting organized, and even the stuff that I should be doing throughout my day, or even doing daily chores or something like that, I feel like life is moving on and I still need to move with it. And even if it's at a slower pace, I just feel like I need to do something, and it's always me going back to whether that's sketching or drawing or coloring or some sort of canvas or something that hasn't been finished. And I think that's that's the hard part about figuring out what to do next, is because on my days when I don't have anything to do, even looking at my instrument, sometimes I don't want to pick up the sticks. I don't feel like drumming. I don't feel like doing any of those things, because I have days where I feel like I don't deserve to pick up this. I don't have that discipline that I wish I did. And I feel like sometimes it's hard when you have too many hobbies. Sometimes it's overwhelming in its own way. And that's usually how it goes. It's like a circular cycle, whether if I'm not drumming or I'm not reading or writing or painting, all those things that I start to, I have passions for, they start to feel like voices that are calling my name at the same time. I want to create something meaningful, but I always don't know where to place my energy. And, some days I just pick up, maybe a pan and get better at, even cooking, because I feel like there are days where I feel like I've neglected my cooking skills, I guess you would say. I just feel like I need to stay on top of that too, those are moments like this where I'm not doing anything and I should be, okay, let's just get better at a recipe today, and let's just try to see if we can get through the whole thing without stopping or giving up. And it's like, no, I need to have days where it's like it's almost like you're staring at a blank page, or like an unfinished canvas or something, and I don't want to feel like guilty for not doing anything. But I've realized that not every moment is supposed to become like some sort of art piece, or maybe some moments are just meant to be lived calmly and quietly and just kind of free-spirited. And it's kind of like the type of person I am, and I've figured it out that there's these divers and scanners, and the divers spend most of their time like on one job, and they go all in, and they have one specific topic and they dive deep into it, and you spend their whole life studying it, and for me, I feel like I'm a scanner, because it's like I spend a lot of time on a lot of different subjects throughout my life and throughout the day or throughout the week, trying to find a balance in it. And I feel like I can do this pretty much as like a circular, cycle, and like a motion that it's always often me returning to learn more about an interest that I had previously visited. And that's usually the part I get frustrated at myself for having too many interests. And that's usually how, it keeps me from being proficient in one thing. And then I have to just realize that maybe it's a gift. Maybe there's a reason for me dabbling into some of these things. And I really don't know. I honestly don't know. It's just part of my personality. It's just writing music or drawing or painting or video making or journaling or calligraphy or some sort of kind of thing that embodies who you are, whether it's a different type of medium or different type of art form or something. Could be even traveling or gaming or reading and writing. And so it's like there's so many things that I haven't discovered yet. And the thing is, I love that I do have those passions, but I feel like sometimes that's the reason why it's impossible for me to just be bored and just kind of just sit. But it makes me realize like I need to appreciate everything. And, for me, for the creative journey that I'm on, it's because I don't need to be a master at one thing or a specific thing. The important thing is that I am fulfilling like my reason for living and creating what I want to tell. All right, so what do we got? G major, C, D minor, G, F.